Man, the things I do to make money. So what is plasma donation? Hey girl, welcome back to Glam Life by Meg, where I teach you how to efficiently and glamorously live your very best life. Say hi in the comments if you're new here. It's nice to virtually meet you. Before we get to the good stuff, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And don't forget to ring that bell so that you can be notified every single time that I post a video. Welcome back to my side hustle series, where I try out different side hustles and let you know if they are worth it or not. And boy, was this one interesting. I might consider it life-giving. It was almost life-taking too. So I went and donated plasma for the first time. I kind of had a traumatic situation while I was there as well, so I will tell you what the process is like, my experience, and if I deem this a good side hustle and who it would be best for. So let's get it. So what does it mean to donate your plasma? The difference between donating blood and donating plasma is that when you donate blood, they take the blood and that's it, and you give it away and your body has to go make more. When you donate plasma, what happens is that they take your blood and separate the plasma from it and then return your blood back to you with a little bit of saline so that your body can then produce more plasma. So why do we need plasma? Plasma is used to save lives. They make medicines. They use it directly to save the lives of people who have specific diseases. Plasma cannot be faked. They cannot make a synthetic version that will actually work. So they need people plasma, which means they need healthy individuals to donate and give their plasma so that we can help save lives. And my thought was, holy cow, I can make money and help save lives. This is literally what I want out of life. Then literally everybody wins. I'm not someone who has typically had a lot of issues with needles. I haven't had major surgeries where I've had to have a lot of IVs and needles stuck in me for extended periods of time. So I just thought, hey, whatever, I'm healthy, right? Like, let's do it. I called first so that I could ask the questions and see what I needed. It was a 40-minute drive. Really far for me. I am in Oregon. I had to drive all the way up to Washington to do this. But they said on the website, they said, hey, you can make up to $700 per month. And I was like, oh, so I'm gonna make some money. I found out that there were a few catches to that. So I get there. I was a little bit nervous at this point. The first time, it takes about 3 hours. You need driver's license or ID of some sort, social security card, proof of address if your address doesn't match up with your ID. And also, I learned that it has to be specifically postmarked. I brought some junk mail because I don't typically get a lot of physical mail. So I brought junk mail thinking, oh yeah, that's perfect. And they said it didn't qualify because it didn't have a postmark. But they still let me donate. They just said that the next time I would have to bring something different. You need 2 forms of ID and proof of address. 3 hours minimum is what I would suggest for the first time. After that, they have a very efficient system. I was surprised to see just how efficient it was, and I saw so many people who went in, did the thing, boom, out, done, whatever. Cool. They have very clear signs where you can see this is where returning donors go to, this is where first-time donors go to. The staff was so nice. They just knew exactly what to do. They answered all my questions. They had a little bit of humor. They put me at ease quickly, which was helpful considering I was a little bit nervous. They give you a bunch of paperwork. What was interesting about this is that they tell you the information, then they give you a packet of the information to read. Then you have to watch a video containing that same information. Then someone verbally tells you again at the next step, and then someone verbally tells you while you're looking at it again. So you have the information. They have you covered. So I had to read a bunch of paperwork, and then they wanted me to answer a bunch of questions, which I'm not really sure because they just gave it right back to me. I think it was, again, just more comprehension. We want to make sure you know exactly what you're doing. There are a lot of ifs to this that I wish would have been made a little bit more clear when I was looking up the information beforehand. There were so many different things. If you were taking certain medications, you couldn't. The good news is that if you had COVID, if you have been deemed healed by a doctor, they want your plasma even more and they'll give you more money. But I haven't had COVID, so I guess that would be literally the one good thing about having COVID. Don't go out and start like licking the street or anything trying to get it. I don't want to see that. It tells you how many times per week you can do it, which is twice per week that you can donate, and you can't donate 2 days in a row. So you can do Tuesday, Thursday, but you couldn't then go back again on Sunday. You have to wait till the next week, because you can donate twice per week, but not more than twice in a 7-day period. Your body needs the time to replenish and make more plasma. At this specific location, I went to the CSL Plasma in Vancouver, Washington. The first 5 donations are $70, and there's a coupon on their website where you get an extra $10, and that's split across 2 donations. So I would get $75 for the first one and then $75 for the second one. And then after that, the amount that you get is based on your weight. So for someone who is 110 to 149 pounds, you have to be at least 110 pounds to donate. If you're 110 to 149 pounds, they have this whole like 21, 23, 25, 27, 29, 32, 35, 38. So it starts to go up the more you give. And then also when you hit the next bracket, the 150 to 174, you're 23, 26, 29, 32. So the more you weigh, the more you get paid. That's not me telling you to go out and put on a bunch of weight. I did notice that everyone around me who was donating was much larger than me. They were either much taller than me or much more muscular. I'm a small person. I'm 5'4". Oh yeah, this is really important. You're not allowed to sleep. You can't close your eyes, and you can't wear sunglasses. They need to make sure that, you know, you're alive and kicking, because it is a rather intense process. You have to be at least 18. If you are a smoker, you have to stop smoking an hour before, and you can't start smoking again until an hour after. Or just like don't smoke. If possible, quit. I know that's a lot easier said than done, but if you need someone to tell you you're wasting your money, you're killing yourself slowly, I'll tell you. You cannot have anything in your mouth, so you can't be drinking water, you can't eat anything, you can't chew gum, you cannot talk on the phone, no phone calls, no FaceTime. You can use your phone to, you know, play games and stuff. They can also turn you away for any reason. You get there, you talk to them, they have to take your vitals. For my first donation, it was talk to the people, get the paperwork, and then they had me go sit somewhere and watch the video where they explained all of the paperwork. And then I had to go get my vitals taken for the first time, and I had to answer 63 questions about my health, about any medications I'm taking, anything like that. They do a finger prick to check your vitals. They can turn you away for any reason. So that's another thing. I wouldn't drive super far to do this if you're not sure if it's gonna work, because they can literally turn you away for any reason. If you've ever been exposed to anyone who had anything, like they're really big, they ask a lot of questions about HIV and all different major diseases. They ask a lot of questions about that because they cannot be giving that to somebody else. After you're already there, they give you tips on how to have a successful donation. A lot of the stuff says this is what you should be eating the day before and drinking the day before and how much sleep you should be getting and all that. And I had called a couple days prior and they didn't tell me any of that over the phone. I asked specifically, is there anything that I need to be doing to be able to do this for you guys? And they said, nope, you're good. And then I was reading this and I'm like, oh, okay. They need your DNA. So you have to consent. They have to fingerprint you. They need to know that it's okay that they're literally taking the DNA from your body. You have to consent to that. If you don't consent to that, they said that they can try to still figure it out, but I mean, they're literally taking plasma from you. So I'm not really sure how they could do that without taking your DNA. So I'm not a scientist, but if you're not interested in that, then this might not be the thing for you. They tell you about all the different risks. There was a lot going on for this situation. We got to the desk, we did the paperwork there, we watched the video, we got to the next room where the lady, you know, you answer the 63 questions, she takes your vitals, you're deemed appropriate for this donation, awesome. Then they have to give you a physical. Really, it was a stethoscope, check your reflexes, and fingers on the belly to make sure that you're good. And then they read you that stuff again. So the lady who pricked your finger read you all that stuff. The lady that you first saw at the counter tells you the stuff, gives you the stuff to read, and then also has you watch the video. Then the next lady who pricks your finger and you answer the 63 questions, she also gives you the same information. Then when you go to the physical, you get the same information. You know what's going on. Then I was taken to the donor floor. At this point, I had probably walked in around 1, and this was getting close to 3 p.m. So this was already like about 2 hours. And these are nice looking beds. I was led there. There were plenty of team members on the floor, constantly circling around, checking in on everybody, making sure everybody was good, which was very reassuring. And they have these really nice like beds. And you got your feet up, you know, you're like, and I'm talking like, not like feet up, but like feet up. Like you're laying back and your feet are like up higher than your head, which makes sense. They tell you a little bit of everything, tell you exactly what's about to happen. And then like they took the iodine and like made a big circle like it was a target. They chose the vein, and originally they thought it was going to be the left vein, and she started like playing around with it and like poking at it and everything. Okay, I'm starting to get like sick even just thinking about it. She was like, you know, flicking it and rolling it around, and it was just like it started to like really make my skin crawl, and I started to feel a little bit nauseous. I'm like, it's fine, like just bring your heart rate down, it's fine. People need your plasma, so just suck it up and deal. Then she looked at this arm because I said, I think, you know, I can see this vein better, so I don't know if this one might be better. And she did the same kind of thing. And then this is the arm that they ultimately chose. You can still see like a big old hole in my arm. Anyway, the needle is big. If you are allergic to nickel and or latex, I'm allergic to nickel. Like when dance costumes had those clear straps on them, I would get little rashes. So I said that I was also allergic to latex. The needle must be made out of nickel. I think that might have been part of my issue. They do not allow photo or video on the donor floor, which makes sense because there are people all around donating and they can't exactly move out of the way of your picture because they're literally hooked up to a machine. Stick it in, and it was painful, and I'm like, oh no, it's fine, like I've gotten blood work done, I've gotten flu shots, whatever, it'll be fine. This needle was much bigger, and then they tape it down because it's going to be in there. So that was kind of alarming. You know, it was one of those things that just triggered an emotional response, and my stomach started turning, and I was like, okay. They turned the machine on, and the tubes are laying across my stomach because the machine's over here. They had me over here on this arm, but this was where the machine was. And you can just see like the blood, and then you can just see it all like going. And I was like, okay, don't get sick. I was like, I've never really had an issue with blood before, so this is kind of weird. They said that you might feel cold, you might feel hot, you might feel sweaty, you might get a little bit nauseous, you know, like they were explaining all the different things, but as soon as it turned on, like the feeling that I got was a little bit much for my small body. It just felt like all the life was being sucked out of me very quickly. I forgot to mention that, you know, the blood pressure cuff, the thing where they squeeze it and then it squeezes your arm and takes your blood pressure and it feels like your arm's gonna fall off. Yeah, that's also around your arm along with the needle. And so the pressure gets tight they said it should be tight for 5 minutes, and you should be squeezing so that it pumps out quicker. And then after 5 minutes it loosens and they cycle it back in. Then it gets tight again. 5 minutes out, 5 minutes in. And it had been at least 10 minutes and my cuff had not loosened at all. Like I was starting to panic because I was losing feeling in my arm. Like completely, like I couldn't move it. I was like trying, you know, because you're supposed to do the squeeze thing, and I couldn't. And they're like, yeah, if you need us, just raise your hand. And I was like, I can't feel my arm. And I was like, this arm, but now also this arm, I'm having trouble feeling. Like, I don't know if I'm just having like a bad reaction right now. Like, I'm not sure what's happening. And so then she comes over and slightly pulls the needle out a little bit and then retapes it. The needle thing, I could still feel that. Even though my arm was like completely numb, I could still feel it when she was like moving it around and everything. That part was like stinging, pain. I was feeling so many things all at once. Like I was even starting to lose feeling in my legs, and she's like, oh, okay, all right, let's try this. I'll loosen the cuff a little bit. Let's keep going. Let me know if you have problems. And another like 5 minutes goes by, and this guy comes around and looks at me, one of the employees, and he's like, are you okay? And I was like, no. I was trying to hold on. I was like, no, the people need this so badly. Like they're begging people to donate plasma. I've never been someone who has had reactions like this before. You know, needles don't really bother me. Blood doesn't bother me. Like I'm a woman. Like I see blood frequently. Thank you. I don't know what it was about this specific experience, but I really had a hard time with it. I truly thought that I was going to pass out. Like I was having pain and numbness at the same time, feeling really dizzy, feeling really bad. And they were like, are you nauseous? And I was like, kind of, yes, but it was like right here, if that makes sense. Like feeling like I was gonna throw up, but most of the pain was right here instead of like in the stomach. So what they decided to do, they decided that they were going to give me my blood back and just end it. They said, you know, we'll still pay you. You know, you still gave us some. Thank you, we appreciate it, but we're gonna end you for today. I was like, oh my God, okay. They brought another like wedge to put under my feet to lift my feet higher, and they were like, they got me an ice pack. There were multiple people fanning me. I mean, they were attentive. They were with me. They were there. They were telling jokes. You know, they were just trying to keep me calm because they knew that I was like freaking out. So they're cycling me through and everything, and then they pull the needle out and they start to wrap me with the wrap. They're like, yeah, you can lay here as long as you need to. And I was like, no, I just want to get out of here. But then also the feeling of crap, I am across state lines. I am up in Washington. I'm by myself because I thought I can do this by myself. I'm a big girl, you know, whatever. After that, I kind of got up, I grabbed my stuff. They gave me, and they give everyone, Powerade and peanut butter crackers. And they also gave me 2 of these, which I believe like this would go over your arm, like to cover up your wrap. They gave me 2 of those, and 2 of these, you know, like the Live Strong kind of bracelets. Keychain says I give, and a mask that says I am essential. So that was cool. I felt like they were really attentive, very kind, from the first person I met through the door all the way through each person that I had to work with. Every single person was so nice. They helped me out. I did have to check out after, so that was kind of annoying. After I got up and started walking toward the desk, the nausea hit me like a wave. I just thought I was just gonna vomit everywhere. I was like, oh my God, okay. You know, I'm trying to like walk and breathe, and then the lady's like, oh, it'll just be a few minutes, I'll be right with you. She was working with somebody else, and I was like, oh my God. She then brought me around, and it turns out they give you a card. I still have to call and activate. They said that you can use it anywhere that you use Visa. You have to set up a different PIN. You have to do some different things, and they were like, there's all these different things that like they'll charge you for if you use it at this place. You get charged. If you try to use it here, you get charged. So I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the card situation, because they were basically saying that no matter what you do, you're probably going to get some sort of fee associated with it. Also, there is an app. So if you become a regular donor, there's an app so you can answer all your questions and stuff online when you get there. You can keep track of your payments, how many times you've donated, what your days are, like when you can come back the next time. Like, it's supposed to be this really awesome thing. For me, I don't think that my body can physically handle it. I also have never even given blood before, so my suggestion would be, if you think that you want to donate plasma, try giving blood, because that's a much shorter experience. When you are hooked up to this machine to donate plasma, that is 45 to 90 minutes, depending on how quickly you can get it out. That's a very long time to be hooked up to this thing, feeling all these feelings. At least for me, I was feeling all these feelings. I noticed that the people around me who were donating were all either much taller and or much bigger than me. So I think maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's much harder if you're a smaller person. I'm just telling you what I saw. For those of you who wonder how I got home, went out to the car and I was sitting there, they told me that I needed to go eat. He said, screw any diet that you might be on. He said it in a really funny way, but something like, screw any diet that you might be on, you need to eat food because you just burn so many calories, and you will be continuing to burn so many calories because your body has to now replace that plasma. So go eat. And conveniently, there's a Dairy Queen right in the parking lot. So chicken strip basket, Reese cup blizzard. I made it fun. I waited a while, and I also stayed on the phone with my fiance while I was driving home just to make sure. But I waited a while before I started driving. I made it home, obviously, I'm good. It's now 2 days later. Yeah, 2 days later, and I'm still like struggling. I mean, I had nightmares about it. Anytime I think about it, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, and I get all hot and feverish because it was really scary for me. I'm telling you my experience because I had some of you really asking for details. This was not necessarily the best thing for me. Please donate if you can. If you can donate plasma, and you can do it once they know that they can count on you and you keep coming back, they keep increasing the pay. Basically, you get paid to sit there and play on your phone. Seriously consider before you do this. Ask all the questions that you need to, but please donate if you can. Like, there are people whose lives literally depend on it. It's not something that I can do, but I highly recommend it if you can. Ask the questions, call the place first. There's a whole list of medications. If you're on any of these medications, you can't. So ask those questions before you drive out to the place. I would also suggest not going alone. Do I think that this is a good side hustle? Yes, if you can. They said that I was more than welcome to come back and try again. And I'm like, no, not me. Wham bam, no thank you ma'am. If you have other questions, please leave them down below. I really want to help. And if I can inspire somebody with this to go donate and make money and save people's lives, then I will have done my job. Which side hustle would you like me to try next? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for this video, and until next time, stay hydrated, sis. Oh my god, okay, I'm not gonna throw up. Not today, sis. Not today. Not today, Satan. The audacity of these people. I'm just trying to film a video.